In South Africa were confirmed under-20 AFCON champions. So this was the first time they were winning this competition. No wonder they are this happy. Champions of the whole of Africa. Yes, it's South Africa, but
Hi, my kings and queens. Welcome back once again to another beautiful, interesting episode right here on the stable of Life of an African Woman. Guys, I never knew that most of you, my sons, are this lively, funny in the comment section because, guys, oh, I never knew the way you guys are really blending and, appreciating these reactions from Nigeria and all over makes me smile as well. And what is life without being happy? Why not, if not? So, in this vein, I have come with more interesting, juicy reactions cut across different country citizens that are lovers of football, especially the just concluded AFCON on the 20 competition, yes, which the South African Amajita turned out the winner, yes, and it has been causing a lot of rivalry, curiosity, pain, chest pain for most Nigerians and our very own Velapi guys. I've put together videos that will really cheer us up, make us happy, entertain us, enlighten and educate us as well. Yes, so let's pay attention to details. Kindly watch patiently till the end. Give this video a huge and a massive thumbs up and stay subscribed so that you don't miss out on more of this kind of interesting videos coming your way right here on the stable of Life of an African Woman. It is me, it is I, your girl, your one and only Tando, aka Victoria Chinyere. I will see you when next I will see you. Ciao, ciao.
in South Africa were confirmed under-20 AFCON champions. So this was the first time they were winning this competition. No wonder they are this happy. Champions of the whole of Africa. Yes, it's South Africa. But in this video, I want to look a bit more into the competition, the tournament itself, the under-20 AFCON, look into the final, tell you exactly how South Africa were able to beat Morocco in the final. Then also, in the competition as a whole, look at the players who were awarded at the end of the tournament, and even some of the standout players from this competition, apart from South Africa and Morocco, other countries who played in, some of the standout players who I think probably have a bright future based on the performance in this tournament. So let's get into the under-20 AFCON. And the final was between South Africa and Morocco. Let me first start from this lineup, the squads which represented by both squads. And I think from South Africa, this was the team, very strong team. And from South Africa, they had, I think, their strongest starting 11 because a player like Shakil Pro had been playing so well in the previous games he had played in. A player like Mfundo Vilakazi had a lot of I wanted to say aura, but I mean, he's a big player because he plays for Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, South Africa, he's one of the biggest players in the team. They had Asheni also starting the game. They had Tylon Smith, who scored the last game, also starting. The goalkeeper, Blake Chalo, also starting. So it was a strong team for that is South Africa coming into this final. For Morocco, well, they've always been strong, and the team they presented was also equally very, very strong. Osman Mama, who had been performing so well, was in the team starting. But there was one big element missing in the Morocco's team setup, and that was El Haddad, because he got a second yellow card in the semi-final against Egypt. So he was missing this final game. And it seems he was an important piece of the puzzle. But he had Abdullahi, who scored the winning goal for Morocco in the semis against Egypt, starting in his place. So ideally, it was expected to be a competent replacement and a good starting 11 for Morocco. And as expected, right from the very first minutes of the game, it was Morocco who really had the better chances of the two and created the better chances because it seemed they had, in terms of on paper, and this is just on paper because for every game, it's always different. They had the better quality on paper. So they created the better chances. But then, chance after chance, it was one man who kept popping up. Fleck Chalo, the goalkeeper of South Africa, who had an incredible performance on the day, made save after save, denied Morocco multiple times. And I think Morocco should have taken a cue from the previous game South Africa had played in this competition because I think it was the same story against DR Congo. And Congo had a lot of chances. They couldn't take them. And then when South Africa finally came into the elements, they took their chances and they won. In the semis against Nigeria, same thing. Nigeria had their chances. They didn't take their chances, wasted a lot of chances. South Africa had theirs, scored and won the game. So when Morocco were wasting a lot of chances via South Africa's goalkeeper, Fleck making very good quality and world-class saves, they should have probably been thinking, is it going to be deja vu? I mean, is it going to be deja vu for them? But there was one man also for South Africa who was impressive, overly impressive, and it's this man, Shakil Pro, who was playing down the right-hand side for South Africa. He was constantly attacking down the left wing channel of Morocco, and even got this man, that is Morocco's left back, Zahawi, to receive a yellow card, and ultimately he had to even be substituted from the game because he was literally about to receive a red card. He just couldn't tackle Shakil Pro in that game, and he had to be taken out. But quite ironically, the man who replaced him, this man who replaced the left back who got taken out because he couldn't contain Shakil Pro, he was the man who actually caused South Africa to score the goal, because this was the goal. The goal was initially flagged as offside, but then you can see a player here. Yes, that player who is playing South Africa's player onside. That was the man who just came on, to replace Zahawi, who had to be taken out because he just couldn't circulate. Was too much of a problem down that side. So indirectly, yes, you can say indirectly, April really played a big part in South Africa getting that goal. But then also you also have to praise the vision, the technique of South Africa's goalkeeper, Fletcher to pick it, because a goalkeeper getting an assist in a final is so rare. I don't know whether I know of one or heard of one. Maybe you can tell me in the comments if you know of a goalkeeper who delivered an assist in the final. I haven't done that research yet, so tell me in the comments if you know any like that. But he got that assist for South Africa, playing right from his own half straight to Kekana, who marvelous technique to score the winning goal for South Africa. And I think this win had been long coming for South Africa, because the very first time these two teams reached the final of the U20 AFCON was in 1997. And it was Morocco against South Africa. And it was Morocco who won by 1-0 in that game. So, I mean, if you lose your only final you've been to Morocco, I'm sure none of the players on the field, no, I'm sure none of the players on the field were born, because it was, I think, 28 years ago, and this is under 20. So if you are 28 years and you're playing at 20, then that means you are over 8. So since it's under 20, none of the players on the field were born then. But then I'm sure it will be good to know that at least you've revenged your seniors who were maybe 28 years older than you. You've revenged them finally in 2025. And also another bit of revenge was just this year, because in the under 17 AFCON, it was Morocco who eliminated South Africa at the quarterfinal. Yes, it was quarterfinal, right? Yeah, I think quarterfinal, at the quarterfinal stage, Morocco who eliminated South Africa. So this was literally a 2-in-1 revenge. Yes, 2-in-1 revenge for the under 17 team who were eliminated in the quarterfinal, a revenge for the under 20 team of 1997 who lost the cup to South Africa, and eventually Amajita winning that trophy. So this trophy is also quite a bit of historic and monumental for South Africa, because it's their first ever trophy at the under 20 level. Had never won a trophy at this level before, but not only under 20, it is their first ever trophy in the youth tournament, because they had never won the under 20 also before. The under 17, so they had never won it before. So it was the opener, and winning this one, I think it's mostly you just need one to keep on going. So it's a good way to start. And that finally South Africa have gotten their name in youth football in Africa. But let me get into the tournament itself. And at the end of the tournament, we had some nominations or awards given out. This man, Momo Kamara Ibrahim, was named the top scorer. And this one, I don't think it's a debate, because he scored the most goals, 4 goals. Nobody scored more goals than Ibrahim Momo Kamara, and fully deserved it. And even if you watch the kind of goals he scored, very high technique goals. His left foot so powerful, also very skillful on the ball. Anytime he was in the ball, had the vision to create chances for his teammates. He was excellent in the competition, and I think top scorer. I mean, you can't debate this one, because he scored the most goals. Best goalkeeper also went to Fletcher Low of South Africa, and for me, I think 100% he deserved it. I can't debate it as well, because this is a goalkeeper who, right from the group stages, the game against Tanzania, he made fantastic, spectacular thing. Against Zambia, same thing. Against Sierra Leone, he did same thing. Into the quarterfinal against DRC, he was a differential. Against Nigeria, a big differential. In the final, same thing. Even gave an assist in the final. No goalkeeper, I don't think, came close to him. I think he was the best performing goalkeeper in this tournament, and rightfully giving to him Fletcher Low, goalkeeper of the tournament. Then we get to this one, which is a bit more interesting. The player of the tournament, we went to Talon Smith, South Africa's centre back. And to be fair, I think he had a fantastic tournament. Very calm in possession at the back, even under pressure. He's always very calm and very good with the long balls, and also a serious threat from set pieces. Maybe scoring the goal which took South Africa to the final against Nigeria. It was a fantastic season, a fantastic tournament for Talon Smith, and I think he's one of the players we really have to look out to his development, hoping that he will really build on this level and become one of the top centre backs in African football. But also, I think there are a few other shouts who could have maybe competed with Talon Smith for the player of the year, and I think the first one will be this man, Fletcher, the goalkeeper, because for me, I think he's the reason. He's like 40% the reason why South Africa won this tournament, because he showed up game after game. I watched a lot of games for South Africa where they were on the back post for most of the times, and they needed someone to step up to sort of stop them from conceding a lot of goals. And it was the goalkeeper who came out with brilliant saves. Some saves he shouldn't even be making, but then he made all those saves. And as I mentioned earlier, and even gave an assist to the winning goal in the final. So I think he really did enough. But you know, I mean, football generally is very hard for goalkeepers to win individual awards. So, and Talon Smith, as I mentioned, also had a brilliant tournament. So, fair play to him. But also another player who I think maybe could have had a shout is Ibrahim Momo Kamara of Sierra Leone. I mean, he played up to the quarterfinal stage, but then out of when he was getting eliminated, I don't think there was any player who really showed up to the level of how really good he was. And it's no mistake or no lag that he was even a top scorer, even though he went out in the quarterfinal, top quality player, and always leading Senegal, always leading Sierra Leone in every aspect of the game, creating the chances, scoring the goals, the leader. He was just fantastic. And I think if Sierra Leone had probably gone to the semis or even a final, it would have really had a big shout and be one of the big favorites to win and the player of the tournament. But with that, regardless of that being said, I think for the three winners, the top scorer, that's Kamara, the best goalkeeper, Low, and also the best player, Smith, and they've really been fantastic throughout. And
South African brothers, you know we love you, you know we appreciate your support. But you see this under 20 AFCON. You know you guys are desperate to get your first trophy, but leave it for the people who know how to win the under 20 AFCON. 7 titles already, the most in the tournament's history. In these semi-finals, you've already qualified for the World Cup, so you should be satisfied with that. It's already a big deal for the South African under 20 team. So just be happy with the semi-finals. Bronze medal is not so bad, but you see that going to the final, just leave it for Nigeria because we know how to win it and we are definitely going to win it. So sorry guys, we still love you, but we're just going to beat you in semi-final. I hope you're okay with that.
First of all, the Amapiano boys of South Africa, they are not joking, you understand? So South Africa defeated Morocco to win the under 20 AFCON. Massive congratulations to the Amapiano boys, yes, to the Bafana young ones. Congratulations to them, you know, they were the best team in the tournament. They played some scintillating football. And if they keep this group of players, the core ones, and transition them to the main team, bro, they can dominate African football. I know what I'm saying. So their defender, Tylon Smith, won the best player of the tournament. Their goalkeeper, Louis Fletcher, won the best goalkeeper of the tournament. So Louis Fletcher can replace Ronwen Williams easily. And truth be told, I don't think any of these guys are older than the age they sent there. They look young and very energetic. Our fathers, Nigeria, also won the bronze medal. So they defeated the host nation, Egypt, on penalties by 4-1, with this 15-year-old goalkeeper saving some of the penalties. So, congratulations to Tunibu boys for winning the bronze medal.
It is official though, because the Nigeria under-20 team, the Flying Eagles, have been defeated by South Africa. It has happened though. You don't know who to blame right now. Because, in fact, as it stands, the Eagles are stranded in Egypt because you don't know who to blame. Is it the coach Zubairu or the goalkeeper Hackholt who caused that blunder? What about the strikers? What about the midfielders? Goals are not coming in. And when we see South Africa again has stopped Nigeria for another time to get it into the finals. This is a Nigerian side that, see, when it comes to developmental football, I'm talking about youth football, Nigeria is always giving in their best and they come out blazing. In Africa, we are number one. Nigeria, we are number one when it comes to under 20. But then today, what we say, is it a surprise? Is it a shock? This is the party, like I said, this is the party before the main party in September. But unfortunately, the Flying Eagles has lost. But then, we now need to look into the real thing. Guys, are you aware that the South African team, yes, they have not been pumping in goals just like the Nigerian team. But then, this team is showing cohesion, mind you. Because today, the goal scorer plays for Stellenbosch. You still have the likes of Mfundo Vilakazi, who plays for Kaizer Chiefs. So, you find players that have they know themselves. What about Leclerc of Mamelodi Sundowns playing in this same team? But unfortunately for Nigeria's side, our players are always playing outside. So for them to come in and develop the kind of play, the kind of game that we play. Look at Ayuba. He plays for Croatia. That's number 10. Very skillful player out there. What about Arirhe? That's the number 9. He plays in Denmark. We understand individual talent. We have them. But then, it is now time for Zubairu. That is, if he retains his job, because in Nigeria, they will just sack you. No time. If he's able to retain his job to the World Cup, because at the end of the day, what matters so much for Nigeria right now is to go and represent very well at the World Cup. But from what we have experienced in this particular tournament, both for South Africa and Nigeria, they need to do more. Let's see how it goes before the main party in September. A lot of football is coming, guys. But then, big congratulations to South Africa, the Jitters, and especially the coach for doing a great job, guys, because he really was spot on today. Big ups to Ndaka. Bless up, guys. African football to the world.
God have mercy upon my soul. Hello. Laba sonatani. My God, my God. Why have you forsaken me, South Africa? How come? How come? How did you people win this game? How come? You people were playing like Burundi in the first half. You people were playing like Uganda in the first half. And second half, people start playing like Brazil. Start playing like Argentina. I was even thinking, Neymar and Messi was in South Africa playing today in the second half. How is this possible? How? Oh my God. God, how can you allow my enemies to succession over me? God, have mercy upon my son.
God have mercy.
Now I know I am really full of bad luck. Anywhere I go, bad luck follows. Pray I don't support your shame. Because if I do, your shame will do us. Don't forget that I can share one move. I know some of you people will be asking me what happened to my face. South Africa. South Africa did this to me. I know some of you people usually saw me as a very, very handsome man. And now all what you see now is a kasongo and a person who looks like a bat.